All right, here we go. Today we have the most feared white boy in hip-hop, a title I previously had for many, many years. 1090 Jake, welcome to Vlad TV.
Appreciate you.
Okay, so, you made a lot of headlines, in the past year, a lot of stuff that you've brought up and exposed and so forth, but it's your first time here. I want to start in the very beginning. So, you were born in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Okay, Malden? Massachusetts?
Malden.
Sorry. Malden, Massachusetts. But then you were raised in Tampa, Florida?
Yeah.
Okay, so what year did you, move over?
I moved down to Florida when I was 13.
Oh, okay. So your first 13 or so years was spent in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I was in Mass. I was bouncing all over. I was born in Malden, but I only lived there for 1 year. And that was 7th grade. So I moved all around in Mass, and then I went down to Florida.
Okay, why'd you go to Florida?
Father was like, I'm good. Sent me with my aunt. She was the only one that wanted to take me in.
Okay.
So it was one of them situations.
Okay, so you were living with your dad originally?
I was living with my mother and then left her house, went to my father's. It didn't work out there, and then went to my aunt's.
Okay, at that point, were you getting in trouble at all in Florida? I'm sorry, in Massachusetts?
In Mass, not so much legally, but I was just a badass kid, and I was dealing with shit with my parents at the same time. Because we didn't really have a good relationship. So by the time I went to my father's, he had a new girlfriend. She didn't like me. Mm-hmm. She got me out of the picture.
Okay. What's your nationality, by the way?
I'm white, Irish and Italian.
Irish and Italian. Got it. So then you went to Tampa.
Yeah.
Okay. And who were you living with there at that point?
Well, when I first went to Florida, I was in Port Charlotte with my grandmother, which is kind of near Sarasota. And then a year after that, I moved in with my aunt in Tampa.
Okay. So now you're living in Florida. At that point, do you start to get into some trouble?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the first few steps of this?
The second I got down to Florida, I found out everybody's got a gun.
Okay.
So it was as simple as just getting around people, there's shit everywhere. I was already a pissed off teenager. And I sought out bad shit. I don't know if it was an attention thing when I was that age, but I was doing bad shit, finding other people that were doing the same thing, and we kind of just got together and took off. But arrest-wise, my freshman year in high school, they were trying to figure out what I was doing because they were saying I was selling ecstasy and guns inside of the school. Never got caught, though. It wasn't until 16 when I went to juvie in Tampa.
Okay, because I had read that you started going to YA around 14. No, 16.
No, we don't even have YA.
Okay.
We got YO.
YO.
All right, so the confusing thing about the YOs that everybody gets mixed up. In the state of Florida, YOs is 14 to 24.
Right.
But it's state prison.
Okay.
So I went to state prison when I was 18.
Got it.
As far as the actual juvenile, which would be the Department of Juvenile Justice.
Got it.
It was either 16 or 17 when I first went in there.
Okay, what'd you go in for a 16?
I think it was a firearm, possession of a stolen firearm. They were trying to link me to an armed burglary. So I got hit with the possession of a stolen firearm, armed burglary, and I ended up beating the case because my co-defendant more or less took the rap in the case.
Okay, and what was that situation around? What exactly happened with it?
A house got hit, and some guns got taken from the house.
Okay.
So they were trying to say, because I ended up actually getting caught with the gun in a different situation. So we were in an area, I was shooting the gun off, and the police came to my friend's house. We're inside of the house. They come in. They're trying to figure out what the fuck just happened because the gun just got dumped on the corner on 12th and Yukon in Sulphur Springs, which is one of the hoods in Tampa. So they're like, all right, we got somebody shooting, da-da-da. They said they went in this house. They bring us outside. He's on Section 8, his mother, whatever. And they got a whole bunch of shit in the house because she's an addict. This, that, and the third. So they take us outside, and they're asking, where's the gun? Where's the gun? She's begging him, she's crying, begging him to, tell them what you know, whatever. And then he's looking at me because it was my shit. So I more or less told them it's my gun. They're like, where is it? I kept repeating, it's my gun. They're like, look, if you tell us where it is, I already know they're bullshitting. So I told them where the gun is inside of the house. They go and get the gun. They ask me where I got it. I tell them a bando, a couple streets up, whatever. So they say they're going to take it for what it is. They took us down to a little investigation shit or whatever. They talked to all three of us. They said one of my friends was saying he saw me with the gun earlier that day, but they ended up releasing us, brought us back to the house, let us go, and then later on they put charges on us.
Okay, because at 18, there was a plea deal where you had 4 felonies. Is that same thing, or is that
No.
something else?
Nah, this was juvenile.
Okay, so this case that you got caught with the gun, what happened with that?
So I never actually got arrested in that incident because discharging a firearm in public is a misdemeanor. It's not that big of a deal. But then again, the gun wasn't reported stolen at that time. So I ended up, my aunt put me into a program. I had to go into, it was like a drug and behavior type program in Orlando. So I was in there. During that time, the warrant went out for the armed burglary and possession of a stolen firearm because it was reported stolen. My friend got picked up. I escaped the program, ran out. They had like, basically it's one door and then another door. They're supposed to both stay locked at the same time. A guest was coming in while staff had the other one open. I shot out. So I run out. I get picked up by the police. I'm thinking they're going to take me back to the program. And they're like, no, you got a warrant out of Tampa. So I end up going to the Juvenile Detention Center in Orlando, transferred over to Tampa, and I ended up beating the case after 21 days.